So meet Robert Bobby George, and he avoided prison time for his domestic violence case through a plea agreement, resulting in probation for serious felony charges. Old Bobby here apparently took it out on his significant other, and his charges included some felonies such as attempted murder and grape, which would have carried a very significant prison sentence. He pled guilty to attempted strangulation, 5 years of community-controlled probation, and in order to complete 20 hours of community service in the first 6 months, he is also prohibited from contacting the victim or her family. The prosecutor noted that the victim agreed to the joint recommendation for probation, which was a critical factor in the judge's decision not to impose the maximum sentence. So he got attempted strangulation, fifth degree felony. His max penalty was just 1 year behind bars. And as the prosecutor emphasized, George is now a convicted felon for a felony offense of violence for the rest of his life. The domestic violence case itself weighed heavily on the factor of this plea negotiation. The victim worked with the prosecutor's office and agreed to the plea deal, which sought to ensure that George was permanently labeled a felon and subject to ongoing monitoring through probation rather than risking a lesser sentence or acquittal at a trial. And that's the biggest factor here, is they're always worried about it going to trial and them losing. So, a statement by George, he was vindicated, and I will be too, comparing himself to Donald Trump. This is an attempt to characterize the judicial process as politically motivated and dismiss the domestic violence conviction as an injustice. George also said, I am not admitting to a crime, but rather acknowledging taking a single step toward a crime. This also was a legal strategy that he tried to use with his Alford plea, or a similar plea agreement. I chose to think of the effect that another year of this would have on my family, friends, and over 2,000 employees. He was a business owner. And this was also an attempt to try to portray him as a selfless businessman that just, it was just a big misunderstanding. He didn't quite try to kill her. He attempted to, maybe, kind of, sort of, but let me know what you think. Anyway, this guy got off rather light, in my opinion.